Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, Crypto by Jess. I know I've been away for a couple weeks, but it's for a very good reason, much of which I will be sharing soon. I am not at liberty to share right now, but you should probably know you'll be seeing me on some network or TV show soon. All very exciting, and it's crypto related. So, pretty huge things. It's all been quite surreal. I actually saw this in a vision during a Bufo journey or ceremony, as you would call it. It's a whole other conversation. Let me know if you're interested. I'm happy to cover my experience. But basically, anyway, I hope I didn't scare like all of you guys away by saying this, but it was really quite the extraordinary experience. That said, and the reason I bring this up is not to brag, but to let you know that I have very much so been plugged in lately. I have not been making content because it was like a week long of like intensive like show life, biz life. And a lot of really interesting conversations with some really big people in the crypto space, people who really know, people who are building things, people like at the highest levels in the crypto space. And probably for some of these individuals, like they're extremely high up there, like in all realms of the world. That said, I can tell you, and the reason I bring this all up once again is basically to let you know that crypto is alive, Bitcoin is alive, it's not going anywhere. You should not worry. I will go through some charts in a minute to show you that we're still very much so within historical trend lines. Bitcoin is going to rally. The bull run is around the corner. And all you need to be doing right now, and I've been sharing this on my Twitter account, my Twitter X account, is, you either need to be sitting patiently if you don't have any more money or liquidity to invest, or you need to be buying more Bitcoin, more Ethereum, more of the top crypto altcoins, many of which I have covered in detail on my channel. So if you want to know which tokens I'm talking about, just go look at my playlist. And unlike other YouTubers, I do tell you in the title of my videos what I'm going to talk about. So if you want to go see which tokens I am bullish on or believe in, you can go check out my playlist. I will start making content very regularly. I just have like another week or so of travel. So that said, I am updating you on what I've been up to because I want you to know that, as I just said, crypto's alive, Bitcoin's alive, and you should not be despairing. You should not be selling your Bitcoin. They're quiet times, but if you have been in crypto for a long time, and or if you have not, then you would know, and if not, I'm here to tell you, that it is during the quiet times or like bear trends or bear markets that real investors, smart money, are actually buying. That's how investors think. They buy on discount so that once, the markets pick up, because they always do, it's like a heartbeat, it goes up and down, they know they're definitely in profit, right? So this is how you should be seeing your investments. Do not despair. But that said, let us get into a quick update on what's going on in the crypto space and in the world, and why the market is down, and why we can expect and know that it is going to rally or go up very soon. Okay, so let me hop over and share my screen with you. And sorry if I'm all chill, it's because it's Bali and it's like warm here. I don't know. I can't wear stuffy clothes here. All right, so first thing is first, disregard what you see on the screen. But this tweet I found so important to share with you, and let me zoom in a little bit, because this is a recap or summary of where we've been at and why the market has been down, right? It's not just down because of bad luck, right? It's not like that. There are always reasons. So first off, we know that Germany was selling a lot of its Bitcoin, right? And so that affected the market. So now Germany is done selling. It's done selling, like the bleeding has stopped. So that's over with. But that is a reason as to why the market has been down. Next, Grayscale, well, this is from yesterday, right? So it said that they sold nothing yesterday, but what you should know is that Grayscale, along with every, and all of the major funds, they've continuously been buying. And that is what's happening behind the scenes. As I said a moment ago, smart money, real investors, that's what they do. We know the market is down, they buy. Next, global liquidity is about to explode again, and we're going to get into this in a second, okay? But we know that basically the U.S., and the Federal Reserve, which is not part of the U.S. government, is a separate entity, but works closely with the U.S. government and pretty much regulates the U.S. dollar's price and how much is in circulation, right? They, like clockwork and continuously, are monitoring inflation rates. And if it, they like it to be around 2%. Why? I'm not sure. They decided this when they did. But they like it to be around 2%. If it's too high, as it has been lately, then they don't, they don't reduce the interest. They don't reduce interest rates, right? Once it goes down, then they reduce like loan or business interest rates, because then that will encourage people to go get business loans, go buy a house, buy a car, do business, right? Because if it's cheaper to borrow money or buy things, then you do, right? And so they control basically the economy through monitoring interest rates that is in response to inflation rates, right? So because inflation rates have been going down recently, we know and we can expect, I think it's on on September, it escapes me, within like the first 2 weeks of September, they're going to be most likely cutting interest rates, which is going to encourage everyone to go do business, right? So all this new liquidity is going to come into the market, and then a lot of that's going to flow into Bitcoin now that the Bitcoin ETFs have been approved and Ethereum ETFs, right? So, and then it just in general, it's going to be easier to borrow money, and a lot of that money is going to flow into the crypto space because crypto is now, a menu option for everybody, mainly investors. So that is another reason. It's about to begin in September, right? So we have like about 2 to 3 more weeks of quiet, and then it's going to pick up. Next, as you can see on my screen, is FTX creditors will soon be receiving, like in total, there's going to be about $16 billion in cash, and it's going to be in cash. It's not going to be in crypto. It's going to be in cash. Is going to go back to repay everybody who lost money through, FTX's fiasco last bull run, which is pretty much what ended last bull run. If you weren't here, that was one of the main catalysts for it. But this is new money. This is new money that's basically going to be, returned to degens, as we call them in crypto, or just crypto natives, like people who have been in crypto for a long time. And what do you think they're going to do? They know that Bitcoin, this is like the last quiet period. They know the bull run's coming. They know Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million someday, if not more. And so they're going to buy Bitcoin. They're going to go buy more memes because they know, and we all know that's one of the most volatile. So I'm not recommending it, but that is one of the fastest ways to make money if you can find the right meme coins in time. And there are a few meme coins that are considered blue chips. That if you were to be looking for very risky, high reward opportunities, money-making opportunities, then you would be looking into it, right? So there's Brett, Dog with Hat, Cat in a Dog's World, Popcat. There are a few, right? Tucker, super funny. Anyway, so that's another big reason we know and we can be confident that Bitcoin in the crypto market is definitely live and it's definitely going to be taking off soon. And FTX's repayments, as we'll see right, where are you? Here. Their repayments should be happening by the end of this year, and many suspect it's going to start happening in November, right? Which coincidentally is also during the time of elections. So It's interesting, timing. Next, we know that Bitcoin supply on exchanges is at a historical low. Now, what does that mean? If someone is holding assets on an exchange, right? Like if you're holding your money or your crypto on an exchange, that's because, like in my case, I don't really use exchanges very much. But if I have any money on an exchange, it's because I'm going to be trading with this money, right? I'm going to be using it, to I'm going to leverage, or mainly I leverage, so that's what I do. But I don't really trade. So the point is, if you have money, or if someone were to have their Bitcoin on an exchange, it's because they want to trade it. And if someone takes their Bitcoin off the exchange, it's because they don't, right? And so the fact that the supply of Bitcoin on exchanges is at a historical low, this tells us people are not looking to trade their Bitcoin. They're holding. And this is a very good, healthy sign for the Bitcoin market, Bitcoin price, right? It means it's becoming rare and people are, valuing their Bitcoin more and are not willing to even risk trading or losing it, right? Next, institutions are stacking more than 450 Bitcoin mined per day. Huge. So these are just the summer months. They're quiet, right? So you just need to hang tight, sit down, sit on your hands, don't do anything, or go buy some more Bitcoin. That is all you should be thinking about right now. And you should be grateful that you are able to rest and catch your breath right now, because once the bull run kicks in, trust me, there are going to be sleepless nights. You're going to be up checking your phone. You're going to be tracking the next, IDO. It's going to be all hands on deck. And this is what I'm getting ready for as well. And later I'll tell you a project I'm working on, just because you're my friends, right? Okay, and then next, another bullish, very, new piece of news I just wanted to share with you is that China, we know that it's US and China. Those are the two giants in the world, right? Competing in AI, competing in everything. China is just about to unban Bitcoin. This is going to be historical. Can you think about how enormous the Chinese market is and how much money the Chinese have? If you're in investment circles, then you would know, China has some really serious money. And they also have rules and laws that don't allow their investors to take their money out of the country. This is why many investors, I happen to know, they put their money into they buy a bunch of crazy expensive things, because they try to put their money into other forms of assets that they can then, extract and then cash out of and then invest in, crypto or Bitcoin. But now that China is most likely to unban Bitcoin, by the end of the year, as you can see here in Q4, that's what that means, then we know that the Chinese are going to be jumping into crypto and Bitcoin hardcore. They are coming, guys. So take care of yourself, take care of your family, go buy some Bitcoin. Don't freak out. That's all you need to know. And that is the hope of today's video. Next, this is just to validate what I was sharing with you a moment ago. Inflation has been dropping, which is really, really good news. This article just explains what's going on. And basically, this is just here to validate to you that inflation rates are going down, which is great because it means that the Fed is most likely next month, within the first 2 weeks of September, they're going to be reducing interest rates, cutting rates. And this will be very good for business. This will be new liquidity. So next, let's shift gears a little bit and this is a whole other conversation, so I'm not trying to totally segue the conversation, but in terms of what's really going on, right? Because one thing is with the government reports, and I'm not trying to get all conspiratorial, right? Nor am I saying I know everything, but I do spend pretty much almost all of my time researching or reading or having very interesting conversations with people that really know what's going on in the market. And this is why I bring it to you, because I want to be your insider buddy. I will tell you what I know so you can be in the know-how. But what we need to know, and it's validated in this podcast. It's also my hope to always share resources with you. And this podcast, if you're not following them, I would recommend you follow them. They're long form conversations, but they're four buddies, best friends, all huge investors in different sectors. And they have really well-rounded conversations on what's going on in the world, what's really happening. A lot of these people are friends with like the Clintons and Trump, and like they know the real movers and shakers of the world. And so they tell you the inside scoop, right? And so I'm just going to play a snippet for you because I found this part so enlightening, and I already knew it. I think I called it in like 2 or 3 videos ago, where I said, like, you know, even the interest rates they're announcing, or unemployment rates, or all these rates they're always sharing, right? Like the price of goods, the CPI, or we have no way of checking whether this is true or not, right? Like they don't disclose where they got their information from. It's not on the blockchain, which would be a really good use case for any sort of government reported fact, right? But the truth is it's not. So we just have to take their word for it. And if we just zoom out and we think about what's going on in the world at large, we know that elections are coming up, right? And we know that both parties want to get elected. But right now, the Democrats are in power, right? So they're not going to want to lose their position, right? So what are they going to do? They're going to make sure that their candidate, Kamala Harris, and their team, Tim Walz, her VP, vice president, nominated vice president, they want to have favorable market conditions so that the American people are like, oh, look, the Democrats are doing such a good job. We definitely want them in office again, in power again, right? So think about it. They're obviously manipulating data. And this isn't just me saying it. Also, Crypto Casey, if you don't follow her, I'd encourage you to go follow her as well. I'm still hoping to become her friend someday. But this is not just me saying it, but I definitely said it on my own a couple of weeks ago. And in this conversation, in this podcast, he talks about how he definitely believes that real data is going to be reported after the election. Hello? Because they don't want to report bad information now. It would just ruin their campaign. So just take a listen, okay?
If I'm just being partisan or whether I have a good point here, which is, look, I think the MO of this administration has been to hide the ball. And any good news they would have reported. Do you think that they're reporting all the bad news? I don't. I think there's more bad news that's going to come out after the election because there's too many incentives for people to hide it.
And for people who don't know, we're talking about the concept of black.
I'll pause it there, but you see, he said it. Anyway, I'd encourage you to go watch this one. This is not the most recent one. They just released one 2 days ago, but see, they said it. They do not believe the government is fully disclosing information. But the point is, even if it's all smoke and mirrors, even if it's not true, what the reported inflation rate is, and even if like unemployment rates are not true, which previous to what I just played for you, so at 44 minutes and 43 seconds, if you just check like 10 minutes previous to this timestamp, they go through all of the reported data, and the market is not looking good. Like, even if it's not true and it's not a true reflection of what's going on, it's not good. Okay, and towards the end of this video, we're going to close with some more stats on what's going on. Sorry if it's so loud. It's just Bali. Okay, I'm outside. Anyway, shifting gears a little bit on what's going on. I'll share with you in a second. There was a poll done by the X team, by Elon, and we know that this is an uncensored platform. And they did like a real poll, and over 3 million people already voted on Elon Musk's recent poll on X to see, who they thought was going to win. And as of right now, the People's Platform, which I believe Twitter X is, 76% of everyone believes Trump is going to win. And I do hope so as well. Full disclosure, I'll probably end up meeting Trump someday. So I hope he's, I hope this doesn't come up. But my first choice definitely would have been RFK, mainly because he's, really, really well studied. I've watched countless hours of interviews, and he's really, really meticulous and detailed in his strategy and his understanding of Bitcoin and why blockchain is needed and what he would do. extremely articulate and well-educated and honest. That's the vibe that man gives me. And there is talk that RFK, I think Trump said this, so don't quote me, and definitely comment below if you heard otherwise or if you have the exact article on where this is said. But I was reading and seeing in the news in preparation for this video that I think Trump even invited RFK to, like, you know, that he would nominate him, you know, to his cabinet or to his advisors if he were to drop out of the race now. But who knows if that'll happen. I think it's a very good idea, very, very good idea. And I would hope that the two are able to work together for the benefit of the world, because the world follows the US. It's sort of like a waterfall effect that policy has across the world, starting in the US. So I would hope that's true. And we also know, and I don't have an article to share with you, but it's definitely true and you can check it. I was watching a different podcast on earlier today on this where, what's her name? Her name escapes me, but the running vice president for RFK is considering dropping out since they're not going to win, right? Like, he doesn't have any sort of majority unless by some miracle he wins, which I would hope so. But she's considering of dropping out to join forces with Trump for the sake of making sure he wins, for the sake of the world, and for the sake of having America and the rest of the world stop sinking into this wokeism pit hole that we saw a demonstration of through the Olympics, right? Crazy. Transgender and all these things. And I'm not speaking against anyone that has chosen to become transgendered. This is not the point of this video, but there's a lot of policy that's not correct. I don't think is correct in empowering children who aren't half conscious to change their genders without their parents' consent. I think that's wrong on so many levels. So we'll stop there. But anyway, so there's a lot in favor for Trump. I do hope he wins. I did watch the DNC, the Democratic nominee or something conference yesterday, where Kamala spoke and AOC, and actually I'm thinking of doing a reaction video to AOC's speech, which was supposed to be for the people, to empower the middle class. It's a whole other conversation, but I think she is just not aware or educated on crypto and Bitcoin and the power it really possesses to actually help the middle class. Is being squashed and is gonna continue to get squashed as the dollar loses its purchasing power, as it already is. So I think she's uninformed to a large degree. And while her delivery was powerful, anyway, I'm thinking of doing a reaction video to her speech, just to kind of, give her some perspective and give everyone who saw that speech some perspective on how crypto actually is the answer to the middle class. Anyway, so that's that. And we know that this was the craze in the crypto space. If you missed it, I'm here to update you on it. But Donald Trump said that he would nominate Elon Musk to his cabinet and into a cabinet advisory position if he were to become president. And then Elon posted this, that he would be, like the Department of Government Efficiency, abbreviated as Doge, which is just a joke. But I think there's always some subliminal truth to what Elon jokingly says. So this could very well end up pumping Doge. We'll see. Either way, it'd be fantastic news. And that said, there's been some FUD. I'm just updating you guys on what's going on. But in case you are in favor of Kamala and are in crypto, and I've heard of her being more open to crypto and talking about this huge crypto reset attitude within the Democratic Party, if she were to become president, is basically, Gemini's one of their founders, right? Gemini's an exchange in crypto. Cameron Winklevoss, he called her out on this, and it was this huge feud on Twitter about it. And he basically questions her. He questions her. He thinks it's just a show. He doesn't think it's real. Because I guess there was supposed to be this like roundtable meeting discussion where she was supposed to show up and like answer all these questions and put her position on crypto on the record, right? And she just like flaked. She ghosted. She didn't show up. And so he called her out on it. And it's this huge Twitter feud you can go read more about. But here's the article. He said basically she was bluffing, right? Anyway, so that's going on. Reason to believe that Kamala is not being sincere in her approach towards crypto. And the truth is maybe also that she just doesn't know a lot about it. And she is under a lot of scrutiny right now because she's running, to be president now. And that's really a big thing to do. So who knows? And, it is wiser not to say anything than speak foolishly. So who knows? Maybe she's just like trying to protect herself from being made a fool of if she's forced to comment on crypto and crypto regulation that she just doesn't know enough about. In all fairness, she was just dropped into this position. As far as we know, we don't know what's been going on behind the scenes, right? So I'll stop commenting on that. But anyway, I just wanted to show this chart to you just for perspective once again, because we are very much so within historical trends, and based on our current position, we are very well within historical patterns. It looks just like pre-bull run, post-halving 2020. So guys, like I was saying, just sit tight. It's coming. Don't freak out. And to wrap up, I just wanted to share this with you because as you can see on my screen, and this is just a glimpse, I tweeted about this on my channel, but it's just a glimpse of what's really going on in the world. And economically, the old financial system is crumbling. It's crumbling before our eyes, and the dollar's losing its purchasing power. We know that the BRICS nations alliance, like Brazil, Russia, India, and China, they're forming their own alliances, creating their own currency, trying to cut the US dollar out, right? We know that Saudi dropped the US, like it's not going to be doing business in the US dollar anymore, which is a big deal. There is a lot going on. It's like a big pressure cooker right now, like cooking the US dollar and reducing it down to nothing. And it's just a matter of time. Unemployment rates are high. I think it was in that podcast, the All In podcast, they're talking about how even demand, we're staying at an Airbnb right now in Bali. Prices are cheap right now. Like you can rent a whole villa for like $100 a day, which is cheap considering it's like still prime time in Bali, and it's Bali, So anyway, statistically, like data was showing that demand on Airbnb in general, like for rentals, is down. Many believe we are in a recession. It's just not publicly announced because elections are coming up, right? So the market is down, and as you can see on my screen, my computer's low on energy. I need to go plug in. Credit card defaults are now rising faster than they did in 2008 financial crisis. And this is, very, very upsetting and troubling and can be scary. And if you're in this position or your family members are in this position, I'm very sorry. I really am. I know growing up, I know what it feels like to be in a household where you're paycheck to paycheck, and it's very stressful, very, very stressful. And this is why everyone needs to get into Bitcoin. This is why electing Trump, whether you agree with everything that he is and does and has said or not, is important, because he's the only candidate right now that's rallying for Bitcoin, to back the US dollar in Bitcoin. Like, this is pretty huge because right now the US dollar is backed by nothing. They're printing it out of thin air. So if you are the middle class, you know, and you're rising out of it, which is my biggest wish for everybody watching this, is that you improve your finances. This bull run can make you a millionaire. Many will become billionaires too. It does have that potential if you follow the right channels closely. Follow my channel. I absolutely promise you, I know my content in the last 2 weeks has been sparse, but I'm here and I'm working actually with AI. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to be building up a crypto marketing agency, not just marketing. It's going to expand to all business, but I'm currently in the works of this right now, just to help businesses scale up faster. And definitely once the bull run kicks in full throttle, I will be here for you every single day. Right now, I'm just like focusing my energy on building my company behind the scenes, because this is the time you do it, right? Once it's full throttle Bitcoin, like bull run, Bitcoin bull run time, you know, that's the time when you just work. And this is what I will be here for you. And I would encourage you to follow Kyle Chasse's channel. Follow Elio Trades, follow Alex Becker, follow Key Ivan on Tech, the real movers, knowledgeable investors in the crypto space that talk to you, like speak to you truthfully. No fluff, they just tell you the truth. Like, that's who I will encourage you to follow. Follow my channel. I will be here for you. I will tell you what to invest in, not financial advice, but I'll tell you where the money is going that I happen to know of. Anyway, the point is the old financial system is falling. It will fall. And as it does, the crypto and Bitcoin market will rise. So if you're here, I'm so happy you're here. Such a pivotal time in history, and it is time to choose. You have to choose your financial future. You can't just let things happen to you. You have to take action and decide what you're going to do financially to change your finances. You know, your financial life doesn't have to be doomed. You can change it. I just had a conversation today with somebody who managed to convince his parents to sell one of their rental homes to put it into Bitcoin. And now they're retired. Like, you can do it. You know, you can be that voice in your family and in your friend circle that tells them to go invest in Bitcoin and crypto. You can be that person, and that would be my hope for you. But anyway, guys, I was going to play this video for you, but it's getting very, very long. Maybe I'll play it for you anyway, but this is what's coming. Yeah, let me just play it for you anyway.
Fair to say you simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. We also print actual currency.
Can the president fire you?
I have a 4-year term, and I fully intend to serve it.
So no, in your view?
No.
Look at that face. No. This is what's coming, guys. They're going to start printing more money. And this is why, even though the market is crashing, even though we're technically already in a recession, even though the numbers being reported are not saying this, and even though once the market does, like, we really do start to feel it, the government is just going to print. This is what's coming. They're going to print. And when they do, I hope you're smart, and I hope you grab that money and you don't just go spend it on going out to eat with friends and partying. And I hope you invest it in Bitcoin, because that can change your life. So either way, it's not all doom and gloom right now. Like, even if it starts to go in that direction, they're just going to start printing again. They're going to, falsely pump the market again, flood it with liquidity. And then that's going to be your opportunity to grab that money and jump, invest. Anyways, guys, this wraps it up for today's video. I hope you just gained an overall well-rounded perspective on what's going on in the crypto market. I hope you feel encouraged. I'm so happy if you've invested in Bitcoin and are invested in the top altcoins. Comment below if you want to know which ones I'm invested in. And let me know what other content interests you for now, or what questions you have. And I will be back here soon. Anyway, guys, I love you very much. Take care, and suksuma, as they say in Bali. Thank you very much.